Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the IFPRI AgMIP Joint Policy Seminar on Climate Impact on Food and Nutrition Systems, Coordinated Global and Regional Assessments. I'm Mark Rosegrant. I'm the Director of the Environment and Production Technology Division here at IFPRI. I'm really happy to be kicking off this event dealing with critical issues that affect the global food and nutrition security situation in the midst of declining environmental quality and advancing climate change. Details of these issues will be presented by our speakers during the seminar. Let me just start out with a brief description of what AgMIP is and how the collaborative effort works between AgMIP and IFPRI. The Agricultural Model Intercomparison and Improvement Project, which is AgMIP, it's a major international effort linking climate, crop, and economic modeling to look together with climate and economic information technology to produce improved crops and economic models and to do the next generation of assessments of the impact of climate change on the agriculture sector and food security. The overall goals of AgMIP include to improve substantially the characterization of world food security due to climate change, and through that kind of analysis to enhance the adaptive capacity in both developing and developed countries. To accomplish these goals, and the key tenets of AgMIP is the recognition that analysis of the agricultural impacts of climate variability and change will require a transdisciplinary effort to consistently link state-of-the-art climate scenarios to crop and economic models, and that those crop models need to be aggregated from basically field level through the regional and global economic models in order to be able to determine regional vulnerabilities, changes in comparative advantage, price effects, and potential adaptation strategy in the ag sector. So the key is to work across scales and on a global basis. Climate, crop model, economics and information technology protocols are being developed to guide this coordinated work with centers all around the world. I'm sure you'll hear much more about that from Cynthia and others, together with cross-cutting research that address the aggregation across scales to enable testing of climate change adaptation in the context of other global trends. IFPRI co-leads the global economics team within AgMIP. And over a number of years, beginning in 2011, this global economics team conducted an extensive modeling intercomparison project that has significantly advanced the assessment of the global impacts of climate change on agriculture. We have since updated and expanded this work under the leadership of Keith Wiebe, who is here and will be speaking later. The AgMIP partner institutions, again, who are on a global basis and include IFPRI, are now moving into an exciting new phase with the coordinated global, regional, integrated assessment, CGRA, of climate change and food security. We're going to hear a lot more about that from the speakers, but let me just introduce 5 of the key assessment questions that are going to be addressed in this center. First, what are the capabilities and limits to adaptation? What are the effects of agricultural mitigation policies? How will climate change affect food security and nutrition? And how will food policies affect future agricultural production and food security? And very fundamentally, and I think an area in which some of the most cutting-edge research will be done, is how can we manage the risk from extreme weather and climate events that affect current and future agricultural production and security. Let me move ahead now to introduce the panel. I'll give you just a very brief bio of the 3 speakers now, and so we can just move forward. Cynthia Rosenzweig is a senior research scientist at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration Goddard Institute for Space Studies, where she heads the Climate Impacts Group. She's also a senior research institute at Columbia University's Center for Climate Systems Research and professor in the Department of Environmental Science at Barnard College. She is also the co-founder of AgMIP. She was coordinating lead author on observed climate change impacts in the IPCC Working Group 2 Fourth Assessment Report and is co-chair of the New York City panel on climate change. I could go on and on with Cynthia, who's been a pioneer of almost all the work in the areas of modeling of the impacts of climate change from many years ago. But I'll stop there. John Antle is a professor at the Department of Applied Economics at Oregon State University, and is a university fellow at Resources for the Future here in Washington. He served on the Presidential Council of Economic Advisors and National Research Council's Board of Agriculture. He's a fellow and past president of the Agriculture and Applied Economics Association, and is currently the co-principal investigator of AgMIP and supervises and runs the regional economics component. So he's, again, an extremely distinguished speaker. Keith Wiebe is senior research fellow here at IFPRI, where he leads the research program on global futures and strategic foresight. Prior to joining IFPRI, he was also deputy director of the Agricultural Development Economics Division at the UN FAO, where he managed a program of economic research and policy analysis for food security and sustainable development. And he was one of the coordinators of the FAO's annual flagship reports on the state of food and agriculture. He was also previously Deputy Director of Resource and Rural Economics Division of USDA's Economic Research Service, and works on a wide range of topics here for us in addition to climate change, on land tenure, natural resource scarcity, natural resource use and conservation, and agricultural productivity and food security. So let me now turn it over, Cynthia, to Glenn, please.